you back, then you would stay. Said maybe if you asked me yesterday, I would handle this differently. Things are different, I'm a new me. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. So even if you're asking, even if you're asking, 'cause I do what I do, and it's time for something new. Yeah, gotta know when to let go. Gotta know when to let go. Gotta know when to let go. Sometimes giving up can make you grow. Can make you grow. Can make you grow. Don't wanna be stuck in a spot, telling you it ain't what I thought. Don't wanna be stuck in a spot, 'cause I don't really like what I got, so I changed it bit by bit. It's not ungrateful, just being helpful for me and you. 'Cause we gotta go our own way, gotta go our own way. Yeah. This was not a good stay. Gotta.
What's up, my beautiful people? Listen, it's been a minute since this guy and I have done something solo, like him and I have a conversation together about anything. And so I was like, dang, I need to see if I can get Vacay, the one and only Vacay JTV, to come through and just chat it up. And tonight, y'all, we're going to talk about Ruth and Boaz. So, Jay, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about this new movie that is, I don't know, it's giving me some energy, but how are you feeling?
Okay, well, thank you, Tika, for having me. It's been a while, just like you said, and yeah, I'm happy to be here with my homie, my macaroni, Tony. There is no phony. You know, it's been a minute, but yeah, I'm happy to be here. And yeah, this movie is making waves. It's number one. Watching it again, I don't know. Honestly, I like it. Okay, I like it. It was done well, was shot well. I know we're going to get into the details of it all, but overall, I really like the film. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. I was here for it. And, you know, I'm a sucker for a good love story. And like, okay, so I'll say my all-time favorite movie love story is The Notebook. I don't know if a lot of people have seen that, but that's one of my favorites. It's a very deep love story where there's some sacrifices being made and all of the things that come along with true love. And so to see
Right.
that we are getting another love story, because it's been done before. However, it's now being done like recently. Like we're seeing it now because we don't normally get the good love stories. We normally get the let's go pop off, let's go, unalive everybody, you know what I mean? And so now we got something where, yeah, some people might get hurt, but the main characters don't get unalived. I'm just saying. So
Right.
I was enjoying this one. I was enjoying this one.
Oh yeah, it's been a
So
while. I mean, we this reminds me of three different movies. You got Love Jones in there. You got TV series Kingdom Business.
mhm,
And then you got, what was the other one I was thinking of? Greenleaf, like all wrapped up in one. You know what I mean? So
right.
so and then you got, you know, Claire Huxtable, you got Felicia Rashad, that always is great to me. You know what I'm saying? I love her.
Mhm.
So oh yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely. And we before we continue, y'all, we're just gonna say hello to the chat. And y'all know what to do. Y'all coming to the building. I thank y'all for coming in and showing your love. Saying hello. That's absolutely awesome. But could you please hit that like button, spread the word, let everybody know that Tika and Jay are out here doing this thing today, just
Yeah.
talking it up about Ruth and Boaz. So hello to Demetria Richburg, Kimberly Sampson. You haven't seen it yet? Well, baby, I'm just letting you know in advance that this is going to include some spoilers. So if you want to go out and come back and check us out with the replay game, we would appreciate that. But if you want to stick right here along with us and rock out and just enjoy everything, we appreciate that too. So what's up? What's good, DeMarcus Vaughn? Thank you so much. Already coming in with the super stickers. Salute to you, and thank you for all of your support. Your contributions mean the most to us. And thank you, Diviana, for coming through. And let's see. Let's go ahead and get the Marcus's comment. Ruth and Boaz was giving me Love Jones and Jason lyric vibes. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Oh
Love
yeah,
it. Love it. Yeah, yeah. That black love is something about it. Something about it.
need it. We need it, especially right now. We need it, fam. We need it. Yeah.
That part, that part. So we're gonna go ahead and get on into it, y'all. We're gonna get on into it. And I just want to know, is this something you can watch with your mama, Jay? And everybody
Ye-
in the chat, is this something you can watch with your mama or your family? Drop a Y in the chat or drop a in if you don't think you and your mama could kick it and watch this together.
I'm gonna put a big Y on that right there. Like you can watch it with your mama, your grandmother. You can call the kids in. I mean, this is a very, Tifinity TV said it. She said, "This is a very clean movie. Like you could. This is Hallmark and Lifetime mixed together. Tyler Perry and Devin Franklin version. You know what I'm saying? So." Yeah, you can watch this with anybody, man. I mean, I could throw it on. I threw it on right now before we got on. So this is a nice Sunday afternoon. I think my man Lawrence Report, he said, yeah, this is a nice date night movie. So yeah, you could definitely throw it on with mama. Absolutely.
Okay, because I was like, we know Tyler Perry has been on his ratchetity lately. He's been on some ratchet type stuff. But y'all, and I love Tyler Perry, you know that. But I just have to keep it real. Lately, he just been giving us some ratchet stuff, and I'm here for the ratchetity, okay? But
Yes.
it's not Tyler Perry that is doing the writing. He's not the one that's doing the work in this particular one. He's just actually producing it. He and Devin Franklin. So with this, the writers consist of Michael Elliott and Corey Timon. Now Corey is on the left, of course. If you're looking at it, I don't know how the white guy, and then the black guy, Mr. Michael Elliott, is on the right side. But some of the movies that they are credited with working on, we talked about. Well, it was Brown Sugar,
Yeah.
Carmen, the hip opera, the one with Beyonce, and then Woman Thou Art Loose. So they've done some work. They have the experience to work on these love type movies. So just so we know who is giving us this and who's created this. They've written this, and y'all know this comes from the Bible. Ruth, the chapter of Ruth, this comes straight out the Bible, but
That's
it's
right.
created for modern day. Okay, so it's created for us right now, and we have a director. Her name, she goes by the name of Alana Brown. So she's an upcoming director. She's had a couple of projects behind her or under her belt. However, she's new, and so to me, she's new because I'm not familiar with unfortunately these works that she has done already. So this is what we got. So for those people that's looking forward to trying to blame Tyler Perry for anything, Tyler Perry literally had nothing to do with it specifically, other than a little production on it. And I believe he also was executive producing this as well. He put some money behind it. So
Yeah.
don't blame Tyler this time around, okay?
Can't blame Tyler. In fact, Tyler is second on the ticket. If you watch the movie, it says Devin Franklin and then Tyler Perry as far as producers go, as you said. So y'all can't come at this movie on some Tyler did this and Tyler didn't do that. Nah, you don't even like it doesn't even I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't even feel like it's a Tyler Perry joint. It
Right.
it actually feels like a collective of people are doing this and it's done well. And that's cool that Tyler Perry's along for the ride.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes they need those bigger names and then, to kind of get it out there. Because
Right.
like I said, I'm sure I'll just say this and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm sure people were trying to watch this just to see how jacked up it was gonna be because Tyler Perry's name was attached to it. So
I agree.
salute to those people that watched for the hate. Y'all got this, as Jay mentioned earlier, y'all got this movie to the #1 spot on
That's
Netflix,
right.
baby. So congratulations to the cast,
Good job.
congratulations to Devin Franklin, and congratulations to the people that was out there hating before the movie even
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all for watching it over and over, trying to look for the bad wigs and look for whatever. No, you ain't gonna see none of that in this.
Exactly. So we're introduced to Ruth's world. And I say Ruth's world because these are all of the different people. She has her friend who she's in the group with 404. She's got Cyrus, who's her, I call her pimp, because he ain't just managing to just put her on with the music game, okay? And we also have a few cameos. So we got Lecrae, the gospel rap artist. We got Young Jock, Meet Me at the Trap. Anyway, and of course, we got Jermaine Dupri, ATL's finest.
Yeah.
So, any particular thoughts as you know, we see Ruth and she's meet Ruth Mobley is her name, but she's in this world of entertainment, and it's looking like she really doesn't want to be in this world, Jay. It's like her heart is somewhere else. Yes, she loves music, however, her heart is just not with this particular type of music. Any particular thoughts, Jay?
Oh yeah, well, I said it in my video when I did my own like kind of first reaction. I said, as a person of God, a person that has a relationship with God, when you go into the music industry, when you get a big break, that's the first and hardest dilemma, your moral compass, especially when, they want you to do some curricular stuff, wear certain stuff, sing a certain way, sing certain words that you don't normally and wouldn't normally sing. So that's the hardest part. And I felt for Ruth because I think most of us who have been in the industry as a producer, as an artist, we've kind of been there. We kind of been there. So I kind of felt for her like, yeah, man, this don't feel right. God is trying to take me in a different direction. But absolutely, you're going to be faced with a whole lot of challenges because you kind of stepped into it and the devil don't want you to step out of it. You know what I mean? And we get a glimpse of a lot of the devilishment that goes on in the industry, as far as the money, as far as the greed, as far as them wanting you to do what they want you to do. So yeah, this definitely was a realistic, very realistic, up to date version of this Ruth and Boaz story, and I like how they did it.
Absolutely, Jay. And this also reminds me of real life story of Salt and Pepper. Y'all remember Salt and Pepper
Oh yeah.
Salt was literally in the game with the group Salt and Pepper, but then she got with Kurt Franklin and started that whole he was in I'll say he was an inspiration to her, and then she started becoming convicted by some of the music that they were singing or rapping and some of the things that they were wearing, and she had to step away from it. Yeah, I'm sure it was pretty hard, but this is what that moment, where she's telling old boy, listen, I can't do this anymore. I appreciate you for all that you have done, but I gotta go. Here go your car, and here go
Yeah.
these $3,000. And this guy Cyrus is the devil himself because he decides that he is going to literally threaten her life. Anybody that's in her life, anybody that she knows, he's threatening. And we find out that not only does her world affect her, but it's going to affect Naomi's world. And
Mm,
Naomi is the mother of, I forgot his name,
Marlon.
Marlon. Thank you, because I was about to
Mhm.
call him Malachi, but I know the names. But
That's
Marlon,
a Bible
Marlon,
name. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad if you called him Malachi.
right,
That's a Bible name when you talk
right.
about the Bible.
Right, Jay, right. But yeah, so we find out that their worlds are going to collide, and he's he's going to end up unaliving her son and her husband. So this is how
Mm.
Naomi and Ruth's world end up colliding. Jay, any thoughts
Yeah.
on any of this? That took place. Her, and then also mention just to mention Naomi's home being basically taken from her, everything that she's already going through.
Yeah, this was definitely a tragedy. Like it was very tragic. When they were in the hospital, we didn't know all the pieces until homeboy, what's his name, Cyrus came. When he came to the repast or whatever you want to call it,
Funeral. Yeah.
he it reminded me of Juice. When what's his name? Tupac took out homeboy and then he came to the house at the repast talking to the mother,
Right.
like anything you need. And he's looking at Q like, yeah, I'll take you out. Like this guy's definitely the devil. And I felt bad for Naomi, man. I felt bad for her because like, a husband really didn't set things up right and they lost everything. It was in that really, really nice house and she lost it all and only had that house in Tennessee. And that was it, man. Like, this guy is the worst. He's like, yeah, I need to get my pay back. I need to collect. I mean, he is like the scum of the earth when it comes down to being like an executive or a manager in the industry. Like, he's worse than an executive. He's not even an executive. He's just a manager. So yeah, man, he's diabolical, as your favorite word. He's very diabolical.
Yeah, definitely diabolical, Jay, because they had just was about to get a contract with Jermaine Dupri, and he was already in debt with over $100,000+ somewhere. So he's thinking, okay, they get in this contract with Jermaine Dupri, I can get my money back, I can handle my business, blah blah blah.
Right.
Well, Ruth put a monkey wrench in all of that. She was like, nah, I got to go. So, like you say, Jay, it's diabolical for him to just pull up at the repast
Man.
and, just like, I'm here and I'm just letting you know this is what I did. You messing with my money, so I'm now gonna messing with you. But then we
Mm-mm.
see Ruth and she's like praying, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? She's scared. She does not know really what she's going to do. She don't
Yeah.
know if she should run. She don't know if she should stay. But she makes the decision to go ahead and get on that bus. And I'm like, girl, how you gonna just volunteer yourself to go with somebody? So she basically is going to go with Naomi to the new home or the old home over in Pegram, Tennessee. I never heard
Pegro,
of Pegram,
yeah.
Tennessee,
I never
but
heard of
oh,
Pegro either. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
so
I thought it was very sweet of her to do that. She didn't want her to be alone. Again, her son was Rue's boyfriend, right? So
right,
it was only right. She knew that she didn't have anybody else. So when Ruth jumped on that bus, it was like, man, you a good woman, a good young lady. But at the same time, we know there's an ulterior motive here. There's the reason why you jumping on that bus. It's not just to take care of Naomi.
right.
So yeah,
Right. Yeah. She was definitely how do we say? It was her conscience too.
yeah,
Because she knew that if she stayed, it's a possibility that something could have happened to Naomi, but then it was also a possibility of her life being taken. And
yeah.
she had reasons to run like heck. Like she had reasons. So, I'm not mad at her for skedaddling, as they would say.
Right.
Yep. So let's see. Then we're gonna meet. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward because we know Ruth. We've seen the home that Ruth and Naomi end up going to. Let me blow this up for some of y'all that don't understand. She goes from this mega mansion to this
Mm,
extremely small house in the back of the woods, literally within the woods. It's not been taken care of. It's that she left that home 20 plus years ago. She
yeah.
literally left that home 20 plus years ago, and
Mhm.
now it's like, okay, now you mean to tell me I got to go back to this place that is all messed up. But the good thing about it though, it was still kind of in decent shape on the inside, but on the
Right.
outside it just needed a whole lot of work. And then it had broken windows and all of the things. But I'm like, well, at least you had somewhere to go. It could have been like where you have nowhere to go at all. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I just
I
had
mean, I'm
to
looking at
let you know.
that top picture. I'm like, man, I mean, what was they doing? Like, what Naomi, a husband? I mean, was it just investments and that's what it was? And they just made a lot of money because that house is incredible, that top house.
Right. And then that was another thing, Jay. I'm like, well, dang, didn't they have like cars that she could have sold and or
Right.
jewelry or something that she could have sold to salvage? What where were her
Yeah.
clothes? Because she literally went to Peckham with hardly nothing. I was just
Right.
like, what is going on? But I, you
That's
know, I,
crazy.
I suspended my reality of thinking what I possibly would have done or how I would have figured out versus going back to the deep south, compared
Yeah.
to where they're in that city living. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
she had to make a decision. She had no choice.
You had
So
nothing at all. Going there with
at
2 bags,
all,
3 bags. That was it.
right,
Mhm.
right. And so, like I said, y'all, we're about to hop into Boaz's world. Okay. We don't know anybody in this small town, but we, being Ruth, go and she goes and looks for a job, and she sees some people, and they're sitting outside, and they look like they're waiting. And so she meets Lena at this time, and Lena is telling her, "Look, girl, this is some hard work. It gets hot. Mosquitoes come out when it cools down. Your hands gonna be sore. Like this is a rough job. So if you down, you can hop on this truck." And so she has no other choice. Clearly, Ruth has no other choice, and so she gets on this truck, the back of this truck. They make their way to this vineyard, and then we meet Bo, to the people, the beautiful man Bo. But anyway, I digress. Sorry, Jay, I digress.
Thank you.
And he's and he's the
No, it's all right.
owner.
Go ahead. It's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead and fawn over the man. It's all right because I'm fawning over Ruth. So we
I
good. We
feel
good.
you. I
We
feel you.
good.
And he and they, like I said, they make their way to this vineyard.
Yeah.
Lena teaches her how to, cut the fruit or cut the grapes from the vine, and how many you get paid by how much you make, so or how much you cut. And so, this is when Ruth is like, okay, well, I'm gonna just work through breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever I gotta do, because I need money. We need food. We need this. We need that. In her mind, that's what she's thinking, I'm sure. And
Right.
so she's out there. She's a hard worker. But his friend, and I'm sorry I forgot his name, he says, I don't know her name, but I left that for you. Which
Right.
it's funny how like they kind of realize that, hey, Bo needs somebody, and Naomi's gonna acknowledge that, hey, she, Ruth needs somebody too. Two and
Oh
two
yeah.
gonna be put together. But
Mhm.
what I mean, what were your thoughts on her just being willing to grind and get out there on that truck, and go to a place that she had no idea and just do the work that she was doing? And then we also see where Naomi is hiding from the pastor. Honey, those are not Jehovah's Witnesses. If you don't answer that door, but she's hiding. She's
Mhm.
embarrassed because she has literally lost it all and has had to. She's left this place for over 20 plus years, and now she has no choice but to go back to this place. That's all she has. And she's, like I said, she's hiding from the pastor who has heard that she was back in the town.
Right. So to Ruth, I was very impressed because she's not like the normal young girl. Some young girls, not all young girls, but some young girls be like, I ain't picking no grapes. I ain't cutting none of that. But she went out there with a suit on. She went to every place to try to look for a job. She jumped on the back of that truck with the suit on and told that girl, like, you don't know what I'm capable of. Don't sleep on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do because I gotta eat. So I love that, the fact that she was humble enough to humble herself and say, I don't care what it is, I'm gonna make sure I get it in. And they were getting paid by the pound of how many grapes is in that bag. So that's why she kind of worked through lunch, because she's trying to make that bag as big as possible and heavy as possible so they can get paid. So I really was impressed by Ruth. I love her work ethic. I love the fact that she knows this is what she has to do for her and Naomi so she can take care of Naomi. And yeah, man, she's definitely one of those she's a good one. She's a good one. She's a good girl. I like that. I like it a lot. And I think, Naomi appreciates that too, you know. And then she meeting Boaz, and Boaz, she just kind of like, okay, all right, thanks. Like kind of waving them off a little bit or whatever, what I'm saying? And so that's another thing that I like about Ruth. She's not thirsty. She's focused on the goal. She may see a nice looking young man, but she's not falling for it because she is focused. And a lot of folks, male and female, we can become unfocused when we see a good looking man or woman, right? And we get off course. But Ruth is on course. So she's super focused. I like that. And yeah, she's dope to me.
Right. Yeah. I was happy to see that she didn't just fall all over Boaz. As soon as she saw him, she wasn't like, "Oh, what's your number?" Like she wasn't that. Like you said, she wasn't thirsty. So I was
Yeah.
happy that they didn't give us. But okay, for those that knew know the story of Ruth in the Bible, we know that she was a humble individual, and which makes for a very great story. So yeah, I enjoyed that moment, but we also had a moment where Naomi, she lost her faith. She done took the cross down off the wall. I'm like, girl, if you put that cross back up there, quit playing. But
Yeah.
she, this is what happens when you going through some things. Like you question God and you question like why, who, what, when, and where, and how did I end up in this position, and why me? And you go to, blaming whoever you believe. For those of you out there, whoever you believe in, you go to believing, or you go to blaming that above, that higher being, on your loss, your things that are happening in your life. And so, she lost her faith, and it's a part of the story. It's a part of the story. So
It's a part of the story, and I think it's definitely a part of life, right? I mean, you lose a loved one. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't your fault. You really don't know what happened. Like, yeah, you're gonna get mad and be like, why me, God? Why is this happening to me? So I thought that, even though, yeah, it was part of the story, but like I thought that was like one of the realest moments. You know what I'm
right,
saying? She had to take the
right.
cross off the wall, though. That was kind of like almost exorcist, like, I was like, why
Okay, that's
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Easy with the cross, be easy with the cross, but I could definitely understand her anger and her frustration.
Right, right. And that's like you say, Jay, that's everybody that, we all experience it from time to time. Why me, Lord? What was I doing so wrong that I couldn't be successful in this, or I couldn't, achieve this particular moment, or why am I going through the things that I am going through? So this is what makes it really, really real. And I think this gonna hit home with a lot of the church people. Um, for real, because I mean they can't listen. I'm still on the fact that there is nothing they can find to complain about this particular movie right here. But
I
but
love it though.
moving right,
I love that
yes,
part.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But definitely we moving this thing on through, because Boaz has taken a notice to Ruth, like I said, and it's almost like he's following her, but because the town is just so darn small, you can't help but run into everybody. So he runs into her at the club or the bar. I guess because it's country music, it's the bar. So he runs into her there. He runs into her at church. And also though, there's a moment where Ruth gets up there on the stage and she starts singing, and her friend Lena records. And I'm like, girl, if you don't put that camera away, because in my mind, I'm already thinking, you put things on the internet, you're bound to get caught. But Ruth has not told anybody anything that has happened. She hasn't told anybody, that she's running from Cyrus. And so, they don't know not to put things on the internet. It's just, what it is. But Lena, she was innocent in it all. I'll say that much. But Lena was a good friend. She picked her up to take her to this place. But like I said, back to Boaz. It seemed like Bo was just everywhere that she was, and I'm like, you following her for real. But small town, Jay. What any thoughts in particular on that's just the happenstance of meeting?
Yeah, definitely small town situation. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't help but run into this person in the same places that you're going, you know? So I mean, if that bar, the karaoke, that's the hot spot, well, everybody's going to that spot. There's probably no other spot in that town to go to but that place. So yeah, it seems like he was stalking her, but nah, they was just hanging out. And yeah, to see her sing like that and for Lena to kind of sign her up. Didn't Lena find out
Right.
that she was part of the group before all of this happened, or did that happen after?
No, that's right. Right before that, that's the main reason why Lena actually signed her up, because their
Right.
friend, she was up there picking the grapes, and she was singing, and dude was like, I've heard that voice before, and so he looked at the phone. It's like she was in 404, and then that's
Yeah.
when she was like, I'm not in 404 anymore. And at that time, that should have been the sign to just let it go, Lena. But she did it, and that's how Lena, volunteered her to go up there
Yeah.
and do that karaoke. I loved
Yeah,
it
it
though.
was it was innocent. Yeah, it was innocent. It was supposed to be fun, but again, just like you said, Lena has no idea that Ruth is on the run. Like she's not
Right,
telling anybody. She ain't telling Naomi. Nobody knows. She's omitting this information. She's trying to keep it under wraps. But yeah, she put that thing on the internet, and man, we gonna talk about that next. But yes, Boaz, she once she found out that Boaz owns the orchard, right? She's like, "Oh, okay, okay, thanks, boss." And then she kind of treated him and pushed him, really pushed him away because she's like, "I'm not gonna ish where I eat. I got to get money."
Right.
And you offered me this permanent position. Okay, I see how smooth you trying to be, Mr. Boss Man. You know, you just like every other man in Atlanta. You know, so so
Right.
that's what I like about Ruth. She's smart. She's not gonna fall for the okie doke. She's not gonna fall for the games. She knows what she's there for, and that's it. But she's like, "Yeah, you follow me to church? You own the church too?" That was funny. He's like, "You own the church too? Because you own the
Right.
orchard." You know, you the
Right.
big man on campus. So yeah, man, I thought this was really cool. But that video online, boy, trouble, trouble, trouble. I know we're gonna get to it.
Okay. Okay. So with that, y'all, we see the old and the new. Um, because the pastor knew the condition and she was like, yeah, that house is really messed up when she was talking to the pastor. And of course, Bo hears all of this. And so I'm pretty sure Bo was behind, along with the church, with putting everything together, cleaning up this house for them, literally making it look like a brand new place. Like this does not look like the same place that they walked into. And not only do they fix the roof, they fix the outside, the inside things that need to be fixed, but they also get a new car. And at this moment, Ruth, Naomi is like, girl, go take a walk with him. Like after offering him the tea and the ladies, did I grab an image of no, I didn't grab an image. I was trying to be respectful of him on top of the house and the daughter or the her real life daughter, Felicia Rashad's real life daughter was like, "Oh, I need some tea. No, you need some water. You
Hey,
thirsty?"
you
but
thirsty, you on fire. Uh-huh.
oh, but
Oh yeah, I mean,
anyway,
I love what they did with the house. I mean, looking at thank you for taking a picture of the after, as all I remember seeing is the before, but this is
right,
incredible. And honestly, while Bo may have something for Ruth, I think the pastor has something for Naomi. But again, they're not exploring that. They're not
right,
exploring that at all. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows, and remember, he came by the house, it is what it is. He's being a good pastor, but still, I think he has something for her. But
eh,
yeah, yeah, the car. The car
right.
was real nice. And I like what Bo said. He says, I'm not giving it to you, just call me God's middleman. I like that line. You
Okay,
know what I mean? So yeah,
he
you
got
need to go
game.
walk.
Got game.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth. He gets smoother as it goes along, he gets real smooth. We're gonna talk about it because yeah, man, you need to go talk to that man. Go walk and talk with that man, see what
Okay.
he's about. Stop playing.
Definitely. So, they do their thing, they take their walk, but then it's time to go back to work. They're at work. He lets everybody go early. And just so basically, I'm pretty sure he did this just so he can take her to go and meet Babyface. Because she's still an artist. No matter what, she can sing her butt off. And he's doing something nice for her. And he takes her to see Babyface. But only thing I have for Babyface is like, why you got these freaking shades on? Like, what is going on? But you Babyface, so you can do whatever you want to do.
Hey, he baby face, man. He can do it. He can do it all. Whatever you want to do, B.
Right, right. And so, any special thoughts or moment, a particular thoughts on just what he did for her? Because
Yeah,
he
he's just a good dude, man. Like seriously, to answer Monique's question as far as the shirtless, she's being respectful to me. So thank you, Tika. I appreciate it. Uh,
yeah. But
you
just keep in mind, I'll just say that it'll be in the recap video. Just so
there you
y'all
go.
know,
She exactly.
ladies.
And you could go on to Netflix and watch it yourself again. Okay. So anyway, so anyway, Bo's a good dude, man. He really is a good dude. Like I said, this is a very clean movie. There's like Bo is a good guy. He's not corrupted. He's not driven by lust. He's not driven just by the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at her like, yo.
Right,
But him letting everybody go. Okay. To do this is incredible. Like I was
with
right
full
along.
payday.
Yeah, I was right along with Ruth. Like, oh my God, like this dude knows Babyface and he heard you sing and he hooked you up. Like, this is one of the greatest hookups of all time, and come to find out Babyface was cool with Boaz's father and he loves the wine, is the finest one. They got a great relationship. So you in the pocket, Ruth, like you could really blow up, glow up, and do whatever you want. But what I like about it is that, excuse me, she's not really trying to pursue it like a normal. I'm not going to say normal. Anybody who really wants to be in the industry and really thirsty to be famous, they would go so hard and be like, yeah, Babyface, let's work on an album. Let's do this, let's do that. But she didn't even do that. So I
Right.
love the fact that she wasn't, again, thirsty on that end as far as fame and fortune. But at the same time, she knows she got to stay on the low. So Cyrus won't follow.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say, Jay. She can't. She has her heart's desires, but she can only do the minimum because she got that man out there that's looking for her, Cyrus. Which I was just hoping he would just go away, but it seemed like he wasn't going anywhere. So anywhere, anytime soon. But yeah, so yeah, and it also while she was working with him, he was they were showing like little flashbacks of her as a little girl and how many homes she's been to and taken from. It was like three different scenes of her as a little girl. So I love when they really get into it with her and him being writing songs and everything. She kind of reflects on her childhood. Um,
Yeah, she
so
was
yeah,
he said sing something from the heart, and that's what she thought about, just
mhm,
her being left, right? She was left at
right,
the door at what, 5 years old? Like,
yep,
that's
yep,
wild. Like, you know what I mean? So she's dealing with
right,
she sang from the heart, she sang from the hurt, she sang from the abandonment, she sang from a deep place.
right,
And that's why I worked out. And yeah, he was impressed. He was impressed. He's like, you really can sing. She can really sing.
right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah. She he wouldn't have took her there if she couldn't, but yep. And so then we see after she comes back from the studio with Babyface, she's like super excited. Ruth is, and she goes and she tells Naomi, "Hey, he took me to meet Babyface, and I sang with him." And Naomi is crying, like she is going through it. I'm sure this is one of those moments where she is just going through it. She's grieving. She's still grieving. She's still in that state, and she's having a hard time, kind of coming to some reality, even though at this point she should. I'm not. You can't tell a person when to grieve. What's the time frame? There is no time frame on your grief process. But people expect you to kind of be okay when in actuality sometimes it takes longer than a month or 2 months or 3 months. It takes some time. And so that's just what she's going through. She's reflecting on how her son and her husband and are never coming back. And keep in mind, y'all, she also had another son who had just passed away before her husband and her son were
That's right.
unalive. So Naomi is going through it. She has
Mm.
lost everything, just to remind y'all. And so this is another part of grief. That life that she once had, it's no longer there. So she's grieving the life that she once had that she no longer has. So I ain't gonna lie, Felicia Rashad had me crying. I know she Naomi in this, but she had me like my choked up, tears running like a big old baby. So anyway, I digress to my own personal feelings, but but
And that's all
I
right.
said I
That's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to, I think we've all gone through it. You know what I'm saying? Like she
yeah,
lost all three of the loves of her life. You know what I mean? So
right,
as you're saying, like there's no time frame when a person can get over that, or they'll never get over it. It's just
right,
something that's just gonna be with you forever, that you have lost these people that you used to love on, cook for. As she says, I cook for
right,
the people that I love. And then she looked at Naomi and looked at Ruth and was like, I ain't talking about you. But she knows she was talking about her.
right.
But yeah, man, it's that. Yes, if that made you cry, then I think they did their job as far as
Hmm.
exhibiting the emotions that was needed for this film. And I think everybody who has a heart and who has lost a loved one feels the same way. Yeah.
Right, right, definitely. Ooh, yeah. So there's also a moment. I kind of got the pictures a little upside, but it's okay. there's a moment where he's telling her, Bo is telling Ruth about this wine that he has, that it's gonna be, that drink, you know what I mean? And he feels he's excited about it. And she can, he's literally letting her inside of his world. And so they're finally gonna go on their official date. Like they've had lunch together, they've been outside, and but now he's gonna really let her in. But this friend, I was just like, girl, you cool. I know y'all cool and everything, but I need you to just not call Ruth. But she don't have a choice because Cyrus is on her neck as well. He's asking her, "Where's Ruth? Where's Ruth?" And then she sees that Ruth has made a whole video and it's on YouTube now. Initially, it was somewhere, but it was supposed to be taken down. But once you put it out there, it's out there. You can go back and delete it, but somebody 9 times out of 10 has screen recorded it, has reshared it, reposted it, whatever the case may be. And so I was just like, "Oh my
So
God,
you
don't
so you
delete
think
it."
you think Lena did delete it, but you think that somebody just recorded it and just got it and then ran with it. Got it, got it. Because
Yep, yep.
I thought Lena was just like, yeah, I'll take it down, and she didn't take it down. But nah,
I
it
trust
makes
Lena.
sense. Yeah, it
Yeah,
makes
I
sense
trust
that
that.
somebody would get it.
Yeah, I trust that. I trust that Lena, because Lena has been, pretty pure and honest
Upstanding.
and
Yeah,
upstanding with. Yeah, thank you for the word, upstanding when it comes to dealing with Ruth, like somebody she doesn't really have to be cool with. But then again, it's a whole new small little town, so you got to do be nice to be, make friends, because. But
right. There's no
I'm sure
shadiness that way. Because we used to
none.
the shadiness. Our
Right,
whole we love to watch the crime drama shows, so we used to at least one person or two people being shady. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna delete it, and she's like, I ain't gonna delete this. This thing went viral.
right,
So, but nah, I'm with you on that. I think Lena is an upstanding person, and she definitely, it's like I don't want to hurt you. We just became friends. Let me delete this.
right. Right. If let me is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand
Stand
up. You
up.
so silly.
Mo
For
is silly.
real. For real. But yeah, so uh Naomi gives this dress to Lena, and in my mind I'm like, Naomi, you know good and well you ain't used to wear that dress. But then I forgot in my younger days I was that skinny too, and I could put on a
Back
dress
in the
like that
day.
too. So I
That's
ain't
right.
even knocking it. I ain't even knocking you, Naomi.
Yeah.
But she gets dressed, she gets herself ready, she gets dressed, and she go and she meets Bo, and he takes her to her, what did he call it? Her place or her house? Her place, I think is what he called it. This little place that looks like an actual restaurant that his father built directly, specifically for his mother, because
Yeah.
that's how much he loved his mother,
Mm.
and he built this place for him. So he's literally, again, he's bringing her slowly but surely into her world. And I think that if Bo could have brought her in a lot faster, he would have, but he's going just as slow, to keep her comfortable, to make sure she's okay with it. But then the most sensual thing that I have ever seen done in my life in any shape, form, or fashion, I have seen all of the other love scenes, but there's nothing like seeing this man literally wash her feet. And it was the reason he washed her feet, and he wasn't too ratchet with it. He wasn't trying to rub on her leg. He just cleaned her feet. And then they ended up getting to this barrel, which reminded me of I Love Lucy, where they got into the barrel of the grapes and they went to stuffing on the grapes, and then they had their first kiss. But during that first kiss, she started getting in her feelings and was like, I don't deserve this. And she
Mm.
leaves. She just abruptly leaves and goes home to Naomi. And she has to comfort her. Naomi has to comfort her. But I'm thinking, girl, just tell her what is going on. Ease your pain. Release what you're feeling. But yeah, Ruth couldn't get it out just yet. She still couldn't get it out. Why she doesn't feel like she's entitled to have the love that Boaz is trying to give to her. Any particular thoughts, Jay, on that moment, on those moments?
Absolutely. Shout out to Bo and shout out to the writers for doing this properly and respectfully. That's why I love the film, because this is not a rush job. He took a time, as you said, to make her feel comfortable, but at the same time, he had to be comfortable as well. So the candlelights and the walkway, um, they had their dinner. He's like, it's time to crush. Now, when he said it's time to crush, she automatically said, no, I don't think it's time. She thought that they wanted to get it on, have some
Right.
sex. But he was on some like, nah, you need to get your mind out of the gutter, brought the bowl out. And I said to the fellas in my video, I said, fellas, take note. This is how you gonna get your lady to be down with the Moist Squad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the
Oh
Moist Squad.
my
So
God.
because your man, look, you wash a woman's feet, brothers. Come on, man. Like you said, he didn't massage it, he didn't try to get a feel on. He did it proper and respectfully. And when they got the crushing, that absolutely was very, very romantic. It was in the pocket. It was perfect for what he does and what she does. And yeah, they had to kiss at that moment. Like, what else are you gonna do after that? Like, you have to give me a kiss because he's just sweeping her off her feet, but she's on grapes now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as her running home and feeling the way she was feeling, and it's like, I can't do this, I can't do this. I wasn't surprised about that. But if she tells Naomi what's really going on, then she has to admit to Naomi that it was indirectly her fault why her husband and Marlon is gone with the drive-by.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's super hard for her to feel all of this and feel all these emotions and not be able to really tell anybody. It's like holding a secret inside that you really want to tell. She wanted to tell the cops, but he was like, don't do that because I'll take out Naomi. So
Right.
she can't tell anybody at this point. So this is a rock and a hard place for Ruth right now. So yeah, eventually you're going to bust out crying because, man, this is just rough. It's just not easy for Ruth to go through this and feel like she deserves it when she feel like she doesn't,
Right. Right. Listen, I just want to say thank you once again to everybody for, as I say, tapping in, tuning in with us right
Yes.
here. We've got All Things Ruthless, we've got VKJTV, and
Salute.
tonight, y'all, we are talking about Devon Franklin. I know he's the producer in Tyler Perry Studios. They're the producers, salute to them. But we're talking about Ruth and Boaz, and listen, I'm trying to talk about this thing without crying because every time I see Naomi, I just think about all that she has gone through and I get a little choked up a little bit. And then I think about everything that Ruth has experienced and I'm getting even more choked up. And we've come to the part where now that Ruth and Boaz, they kind of had a little split because she abruptly left. She didn't explain to him why she had to leave. She just left. And so now she sees him, but it's kind of cute because she's still looking at him as, she's getting on the truck. She's still looking at him, kind of giving him a little smirk, a little smile. And he's looking like, just what's wrong? Like, what happened? Like, he's looking at, but he's still, they got that eye to eye contact. So, of course, later on, when it's time to wind down, everybody ends up at the bar. And oh my God, I was like, oh my God, because in the bar walks the devil himself, Cyrus. He has finally caught up to where Ruth is. And thankfully, y'all, I'll just say this. Well, not thankfully, but Ruth receives a phone call and she has to go because Miss Naomi is in the hospital. But had she been there a minute or two longer, her and Cyrus would have run into each other and she would have been snatched up. But because they missed each other, Cyrus goes to the bartender and asks, do you know this girl? And he holds up a picture of Ruth. And he's like, I don't know her, but I've seen her in here and I've seen her with that guy over there in the VIP, referring to Bo. So Cyrus, of course, bold as he is, with his big bodyguard behind him, goes over to Bo and like, asking him questions about Ruth. And of course, Bo is like skeptical. He's like not trying to give any information. I haven't seen her. Who are you? And of course, Cyrus, like a little sucker, don't want to give his name. So it was a close call, y'all. But I hate that Ruth had to leave, but I'm glad she had to leave because it would have turned out a tad bit different. And before we move on, Jay, any particular thoughts on this whole moment, but this interaction, Cyrus and Ruth and Bo?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything what you're saying. You broke it down very, very well. Yeah, this guy, this little freaking guy right here. He kind of he makes me mad. Like you are not tough, bro. You are really not tough. If you didn't have that big wolf dude, come on, man. And when he did speak to I thought they was going to get into something. You know what I'm saying? I thought be like, well, why you asking about it? You know, like I thought Bo was going to do it was. I thought it was going to go there, but it didn't go there, right? He just kind of slid off. And yes, thank God. I mean, not thank God that Naomi's in the hospital, but yes, it was perfect timing for her to get up out of there. So, but yeah, she looking at Bo and just explain to the man, that man, like, yo, I kissed you, we crushed together. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm gonna do it now. You want to go crushing? You know what
Oh my
I'm
God.
saying? We crushed together. I brought you to my mama's, restaurant, the whole nine. Like I'm doing everything right. Like just come on and open up to me. Come on and open up. But again, he's being patient.
Yeah.
Good man to be patient. Fellas, take a note. Just because she ain't telling you what's going on, give her time. Be patient. When she feels comfortable enough to do it, hopefully she'll open up and tell you.
That
Yeah.
part.
Good
Love
lessons.
it. Advice from the man. They
Hey.
okay. Let's go to this chat real quick. So Demetri Richburg says it was a nice, wholesome love story. Thank you, Tika, for telling me about this movie. Very heartfelt storyline. Yeah, I
Nice.
absolutely loved it, and you are welcome.
Yeah.
Monique says, I'm giving more than a kiss. Those grapes will be contaminated by the end
Oh
of the night. You
Lord.
know what? Your name ain't Monique 69 ways for a reason.
That's right.
It's for a reason.
It's that
That
reason.
is that reason.
Contamination.
Contamination. Okay. The actor who played Alex in Reasonable Doubt plays Delvin in Ruth and Boaz. Okay,
Okay.
okay. I don't watch Reasonable Doubt. I do apologize, but that's good to know. Definitely
Mhm.
good to know. I actually thought Cyrus and Wolf would have eliminated Lena. Why? Do they know
Uh,
Lena, or was it just because she was walking with her? Like because he said he would take away everybody who she loved or whatever. So maybe, but I don't know if
yeah,
they
I
was
don't
tuned
think
in to Lena like that.
I don't think Ruth would be heavily affected the way she would if he was to do something to Naomi. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm,
saying?
mm-hmm,
So yeah.
yeah. Bartender snitch without no tip. He sure is. He
Right.
just they didn't even have to bribe him. He just ran his
Right.
mouth.
No money, no nothing. Yeah, she was with him over there. You a
And
small
you
town
know,
boy.
but the bartender was overwhelmed. I must say that I'm like, can y'all get this man some help? Because it took Lena and Ruth what 30 plus minutes to get their drink. And then yeah, he was they should have got him some help because everybody can I get my drink? And he just anyway, yeah, he was
Right, right. Mhm.
out of control. But anyway, y'all. Anyway, and one more from Demarcus. Naomi reminded me of Chicken Man wife Faye when she pulled the double. We're gonna get to that on Cyrus and Wolf. Gotcha. We're gonna get to that. So we see that because Ruth had to leave because Naomi unfortunately was in the hospital. But thankfully it was nothing fatal. It was only just that her blood pressure had been too high. And stress will do that. And y'all gotta keep mental health awareness. Stress will unalive you. It will send your blood pressure up so high, it'll cause you to have a heart attack, all the things, a stroke, all of the things that could possibly happen. So please, y'all, be careful, be mindful of stress, be mindful when you're grieving. There are grievance counselors out there. There's somebody you can go and talk to. Even if you don't believe in going to therapy, there's a pastor. Every black person, just about every black person believe in going to their pastor to talk to the pastor. Just talk to somebody. I know it's easier said than done, but you got to start somewhere. Don't give up on life
Right.
because you have lost your loved ones. Fight. You just have to fight through this whole grieving process, y'all. I've been there multiple times. That's the only reason why I can say it.
Amen.
Jay, I know you
Amen.
got some great thoughts.
Well, first off, I want to say, Tika, amen to what you just said. Also, You got a good pick here because I don't even remember seeing Mr. Pastor over there sitting next to her in the hospital. Wait a minute, what's going on here, Pastor? What was you doing with Miss Naomi that you sitting right next to her in the hospital? See, these are the missing pieces. I told you you had a little something for her. You know what I'm saying? Or is that just me just trying to just create something
I
that does
think
not
I
exist?
think the hospital called the pastor because
Yeah,
he could have been the merge or the person that the town ain't so
emergency
big.
contact. Okay, okay. I don't know about
He
that. She just
he could have
came
been
back.
he
She
could have been
just
over there
came.
getting some laying hands.
That's what I'm saying. And she got her blood pressure came up because he was laying hands, and she was like,
Oh
"Oh,
Lord.
oh, oh." He was like, "Let me take you to the hospital." Oh my God.
What's up to Tamika's Den? Y'all
Hey, what's
shout
up?
out to
What's up?
Tamika Den. Y'all make sure y'all
Uh,
like, share, and subscribe to
yeah,
everybody that's got a YouTube channel in this thing,
Mr.
okay?
Pastor over there.
Mr. Pastor. But he was there. Hey, I mean, he could be
Hmm.
her Boaz at some point. Hey,
Hmm.
I wouldn't be mad
Hmm.
at it.
What up, Tamika? Yeah, I know where
Listen,
I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, um, yeah, man. Like, what you say? What she say? He was praying for her, Jay.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
praying for her and
yeah,
then
he
she
was
died. I
praying.
said,
Like I said, he was putting hands on her.
but
And
how did
Tika
he
said
end
that.
up there?
Exactly.
Yeah,
How did he end up there? He went to
I,
pray for her, huh?
I feel like it was innocent.
Of course.
But I
This is a
loved it,
clean movie. It's a clean movie. We gotta,
Yeah.
we'll keep it clean. We'll keep it clean. We ain't gonna corrupt it with our minds and what we're used to. Because we're used to that, right? We're used to the pastors. Oh, Sister Naomi, let me come lay some hands on you.
With the ill intentions.
Right.
So anyway, after, of course, Miss Naomi is home, of course, and she knows that she has kind of, and Naomi has a conversation with her, and she tells her, go talk to Bo, go do what you got to do, um, get it together. So she goes and she sings beautifully. If copyright strikes wasn't possible, I would play that song for y'all. But she sang beautifully, and she was saying that basically your love brought me home, and so he felt it. Like he felt it so much in his chest that he had tears in his eyes, and you could just tell that's
Yeah.
where for me, that's where he fell in love with Ruth. I don't know if it was the moment earlier, but I felt like that was the particular moment where Bo actually fell in love with Ruth. And I'm calling him Bo, y'all. His name is Bo, but they call him Boaz because his first name is Bo, and then the last name was Azra, and then we
Azra.
get Boaz. So
That was
yeah,
that was clever. That was clever. Also, let's not forget the fact that Babyface helped her write that song to him,
mhm, right.
which is real special. You know what I'm saying? Real. That's Come on, ladies. Yeah, come on. Write us a song. We'll do anything for you. We'll wash your feet. You know what I'm saying? We'll kiss your forehead. Whatever you want to. You listen. We'll wash your feet. You write us a song. Let's put it together. But it was definitely beautiful. Definitely heartfelt. Yeah, he was about to. I was waiting for that one tear to come down like glory. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely felt it. It was special. Real special.
Yep, and I just love that moment. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, that moment was tainted by her seeing. Not only did she see Cyrus there, but she also saw his barn or his winery area where he keeps his bottles of wine, his special bottle of wine that number 20, what is it, 70, 27? 27 that he
Okay.
keeps in that wine cellar. That place was on fire, and
Yeah.
she was singing, and then she stopped and pointed at it, and he was just like hurt because that was his baby. This was like going to be 2017. Thank you, Monique, because I
Mhm.
was like 27. I know it was a 2 and a 7 in there somewhere,
It
but
works. It works.
this
You got it.
was right. This was the moment. This was the place the thing that was going to take his wine to a whole other level. And to see it
Yes.
go up in flames, he was literally distraught, as he should have been, by the whole situation. And then daylight comes and they're trying to go through and see what actually happened. And she gets a text message from Cyrus's dirtbag behind and says, to meet me at your crib, meaning me here at Naomi's house. And she can only think of, oh man, Miss Naomi. like, oh my gosh, I got to get up out of here. So she tells Bo, hey, listen, I'm sorry. I got to leave town. I got to pack my stuff and I just got to go. And he's like,
Mm,
well, what is wrong? Like, talk to me. Like, this is the most inconvenient time for you to tell me that you have to go. Like,
yeah.
he wasn't being selfish, but he was just like, what in the heck just happened to make you just sang me this song so beautifully and now all of a sudden you gotta go. And so
Mhm.
he ends up, talking to the police and they're asking him, do you think there's any enemies or anybody that wanted to come after you or anything like that? Anything, anybody suspicious? And so he comes to the conclusion that dang, something is not right. Send the police like right now to Miss Naomi's house. And so he goes running off. He goes and makes his way to the house. But before we talk about what happened with Miss Naomi and everything, any thoughts? Just the place burning down, him talking to the police, Naomi saying, I gotta beat feet, I gotta get out of town.
Yeah, it was just heart wrenching, to go from that loving moment of her singing the song, and then she actually stopped singing when she saw Cyrus. She stopped singing. She was like, she couldn't even sing, but she pushed through it, even though she knew he was there. Cyrus was
Right.
there. So that was that love in her heart that kind of pushed her through. She's like, I'm gonna get through this song because I love me some Boaz. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what's going on. But when she was like, look over there. I was like, oh Lord, he burned it up stuff. Cyrus, you the devil for real, man. You the terror. He's just the worst. He's just the worst guy on the planet right now. And when he did ask, when the officer asked him, the detective said, is there anybody that would want to do you harm? He didn't think of himself. He thought of the conversation with Cyrus asking questions about Naomi, and that's what prompted him to be like, "Yo, send the police over there right now," and all this and that. So smart guy, figuring it all out.
Right. 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 Yep. Because somebody else would have been selfish and just thinking about, oh, who would have wanted to do this to me? But he thought about her, and like you said, Jay, he thought about that conversation with Cyrus pulling up, at the club or at the bar. So unfortunately, we see where Cyrus is in the house eating Miss Naomi's good tomatoes, and telling, hey, she's coming with me. Don't worry about the clothes. I'll buy you some more clothes, just like a straight pimp. And so
Right.
Ruth is like, Miss Naomi, she finally has to tell her that, hey, he's the one that unalived your son and your husband. I'm so sorry. It's all my
Yeah.
fault. And Miss Naomi's like, well, before that, she was like, she's not going anywhere. Like, she's staying with me. I don't know what you're talking about. You taking my daughter nowhere. But, she told her what happened. And then, she tried to, he snatches her. Little bodyguard dude snatches her up and he pushes Miss Naomi to the floor, and she's like, "Oh no, I got to get to her. Like, are you okay?" She wouldn't. They will let her get to her, snatches her up, takes her out of the house, and thank you. Here I come to save the day. The one and only Bo came through with the 1-2 checkers and the like. Yeah, he pulled a little blicky on him, but he got it. He got close enough to where he could knock him down to the ground, and then the one that really saved the day though, Mama Naomi, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna take my daughter. She called Ruth her daughter.
Order.
She
Yeah.
she took that shot blicky and popped it. So she really could have unalived him if she wanted to, especially considering the fact that this man unalived her husband and her son. And so, yeah, finally Ruth gets to live her life. She got to tell her truth. Thoughts? Thoughts on any of this, Jay?
First off, I was very angry when they pushed Miss Naomi down. Okay, I was mad at Cyrus. I was mad at Wolf. I was like, let me jump up in there real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me knock these cats out real quick. You gonna knock down Mama like that? You know what I mean? And yeah, when he pulled it out on Bo, and Bo came up in there throwing them bows. He was throwing them bow, throwing them bows. Like, yeah, you just a little punk, Cyrus. You a little punk, and you a punk. But yes, when she came out with the double shot barrel, man, I was like, okay, let's do this. I mean, I just love the combination of it all. It didn't last too long. it was just like a regular fight, like this is what happens. Somebody come out with the shotty, it's over. Like it's done. Okay. She's like, next time I ain't gonna miss, Mr. Cyrus. You know what I'm saying? Don't be touching my people. For the fact that she called her daughter, that is definitely sweet. And again, like all this time, we don't know how much time went by, but obviously they got really close.
Right.
And Ruth definitely showed that she really cared about Naomi, like she was her mom. I mean, when your parents leave you at the age of 5 on a doorstep, like she automatically is going to gravitate towards a good person. And Naomi, obviously, definitely a good person, even though in the beginning she wasn't really feeling
Mm.
Ruth for Marlon because of what she was singing and how she was looking in the whole nine. And even her husband was like, "You was kind of rude." And we missed that part. That's the part we missed,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she was like, if you wanted one of those, oh, Eli, Eli, I'll do whatever you want. That's why you married me, because I don't agree with everything. And then he was like, "Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna need that opinion." You remember that part? And then he
Right. And they was about to get
grabbed
it.
her from the back.
Okay.
He's like, "You feel that?" She's like, "It's
A
a miracle."
miracle.
That's the funny part. This was well written, man. This was definitely
Yeah.
well written. I loved it. And yeah, we can get right to this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, they go to the cellar, they taste the wine. Initially Bo had just given up. He was like, "Man, this stuff gonna taste like vinegar." But Ruth was like, "I think you should taste it, because I'm not a wine connoisseur or whatever. I'm not a wine person, but I think you should taste it." After she sampled it, and then I hate that I forgot his name. I know his last name is Broughton, but he tasted it. He was like, "Hey, Bo, I think you should taste it." So Bo finally tasted it, and he was like, "Oh, I think we got something here." So they took 2017 to the man who, they judged the wine and all of the things. And Bo said he don't want to be interviewed. I forgot what the words he used, but he said he wants to come in. He don't want like first place, second place. He wants the best of the whole event or whatever, the whole wine tasting situation. And so he got that. He took it 2017, got the best
Yeah.
wine, and yeah, it was a beautiful thing. And then at that moment, he basically, not only he said, in the midst of being a singer or a performer and being, you know, my will you be my wine crusher or whatever he said. In other words, will you marry me? But in other words, he said it. Yeah.
Yeah, he got it's best in show. Best in show.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, best in show for the wine. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was great. It was great. Like it was all kind
Gino.
of like expected, but it didn't roll out in a corny manner to me. It wasn't corny. Some movies they kind of like roll it out and it's like corny at the end, but nah, this was like, okay, y'all work hard for it. This is it's a miracle. It's a blessing that the fire did not turn the wine into vinegar, but it was God. It was God Almighty, as we know it, that made it even taste even better with the firmament of the fire. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but that's just how it came out. But yeah, the fact that he made her partner and called it Ruth R&B, man,
Yep.
that's a bless. That's great. It's only right. You know he was gonna marry
Right.
her. You knew he was gonna marry her. You knew that was gonna
Right.
happen. Oh yeah.
And another thing that I forgot to mention, that when they were out picking the grapes and everything, Boaz he prayed over his fruit. He prayed over those grapes. He prayed over it. He said, bless this fruit, every time. And so I think the messages, and I ain't no pastor or anything, but the message was, for me, the message was, even through adversity, always believe, always have that faith. It's gonna happen at some time, some shape, form, or fashion. What you want is gonna actually happen. So by him praying over his fruit, praying, and that's they say we're supposed to pray over our money. So I probably need to pray a little bit harder over this money so I can get more of it, so it can continue to be in abundance. But anyway, and yes, Gino, thank you, was the name of dude in the middle. But
It
yeah, Jay.
reminded me, Tika, of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. the three Hebrew boys that was thrown into the fire, and God protected them through that blaze of fire, and they were fine after that. So yes, this was definitely a blessing, and yeah, they were praying over all of that, and this is a beautiful, beautiful setting here. Man, this was like very nice
Right.
ending, well put together, wasn't corny, wasn't, it was just clean, nice, and she finally got that happily ever after because she didn't think she deserved it. I think there's a
Right.
lot of people out there who feel, abandoned and feel like, their family doesn't care about them, feels like nobody cares about them. But hopefully they keep the faith and they stay a good moral person. And sometimes they say sometimes good people finish last, but that's not always true. You just stick to your guns and stay faithful, and it's going to work out. So it gave me, of course, inspiration and just to aspire to continue to keep going. And no matter what, whether it be love or whatever you're pursuing, it can happen for you.
Right. Definitely, Jay. Definitely. And listen, last but not least, we get that moment where Naomi has gotten her faith back and she put that cross back where it should have been all along. And
That's right.
so that was the end. That was the end of Ruth and Boaz. And again, Jay, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this particular project.
Yes.
Um, I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it again. It's a love story. It's a test of faith. It's a some of everything. You can find a lot of little messages within this particular film. But with that being said, I think you kind of gave your final thought. I felt like it was your final thought on what you felt about the movie. But if I was wrong, if there's anything additionally that you would like to add to it, please feel free to do
Yeah,
that,
I just
Jay.
I did. I don't think we rated it, but I definitely will give
Oh yeah.
this in this particular genre and this particular film, totally negating all the other films that we're used to. I definitely want to rate this a 10. I think they did a great job. I think the actors definitely came through with the great performances. I thought, the stakes were definitely high enough where, it wasn't too pushy, wasn't too mimicky of other shows. I love the cleanness of it. I love it. Like I was saying in I said it in my live. I said this is kind of what we need right now because of what we're used to. The whole ratchet stuff, as you said in the beginning. But to me, this is kind of like a palate cleanser, right? This is cleaning our palate. It's refreshing. It's different. It's clean. So, yeah, we can get back to the ratchet stuff later. But as of right now, this definitely takes the cake. We can watch it with mama, grandmama, our kids, nieces, nephews, everybody. And it was a really good movie. It was done very well. Great job to everyone.
Right. Absolutely. And you said you gave it a 10, Jay?
Yeah, I gave it 10.
Well, I gave it a 10 too. I'm telling you, I'm a big old baby. I'm a sucker for love stories. I'm a sucker for movies that make me cry, but then it makes me feel good. I mean, may call me a gluten for a little bit of pain and a little bit of joy and pain. You know what I mean? But I was absolutely here for it. The cinematography, everything was beautiful. The surroundings, the scenery, everything was on point. There were no shaky cameras. The sound was perfect. I'm not a sound person. Jake is here better than me, but the sound was perfect. Everything was perfect. There's no excuse why no one should not check this movie out. It's streaming right now on Netflix. Now, don't go to your Bible trying to compare. Oh, this didn't happen in the Bible. This didn't happen. It's
Please.
made for TV, people. It's a film. Just go into it with an open mind and check it out for yourselves. I can promise you that you will actually love this. And for Jay to give it a 10, it's got to be good, okay? So this
Yeah,
one was definitely on point. Boaz. Ruth and Boaz, y'all. Streaming right now on Netflix. I know some of y'all probably got the little the bootleg app. Go look at it at Netflix first. Give them people their credit
that's
first,
right.
and then go back to your other little app and check it out there. Just give them their credit, give them their money back because they worked hard, and it doesn't look like it costs $5 to make this film. So
Right.
support them,
Well, they
and
definitely put money into this. They definitely put
Oh yeah.
money into this, and I was saying also that if you look at the film, especially when they were like having a picnic and stuff, you can see that they purposely made sure it was a warm color coming through with the sun and them having fun. So whoever put this together, top notch for real. Like it wasn't cheesy. It was done very well. It was done very, very well. And you're right, the sound was good. The sound was really good.
Monique said, "Cleaner James palette. We know what he be
You are
watching."
funny.
Oh my
You
God,
watch the
here we
same
go.
thing I watch, Mo.
I'm gonna pray for y'all. It's a new take. It's definitely a new take on a biblical story. And I just
Yes.
want to say, thank you everybody for coming through. This has been awesome. I was trying my best not to wear out my welcome with Jay because I know this man be busy, busy, busy. So I appreciate you, Jay, for taking out your time to come and kick it with your girl. As we talked about Ruth and Boaz, please let everybody know what you got coming up next on your channel.
Well, as you know, Teak, it's always a pleasure rocking with you on this thing. We've been doing this for years, as I mentioned on the other live, and we just got that natural chemistry going on. You know what I'm saying? To be a male and female duo right here. So, I wouldn't have it any other way to be rocking with my girl right here. You know what I mean? So, family, again, we appreciate you coming through. Definitely hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We got to get Tika to 10,000. So make sure you share her all things ruthless out. We want to celebrate her because she's been working very hard, as you guys know. She's always putting stuff out, and I'm campaigning for you right now. It's not about me. I'm
I
campaigning for
appreciate
you
that.
because
I
if
appreciate
you if
that.
you follow her and you got the notification bells on, she's putting out shorts, she's putting out videos, she's talking about audio books. Like, this woman works hard, so we need to help her cross over the 10,000 mark. She deserves it. That's it. That's what I want to say about that. So check out my video. I
I
did a
appreciate
video
that.
on Nas, and you're welcome. Nas and Jay-Z and the new King of New York. So check out that video. Also, I did my first reaction to this right here, to Ruth and Boaz. So check that out as well. We're supposed to be doing Reasonable Doubt. I'm going to be hosting that probably tomorrow. Look out for it tomorrow. And we may have a special guest. Maybe. We'll see. We're still trying to work it out. And yeah, just keep your notification bells on VKJ TV. You guys already know. Also, subscribe to my music channel because I have a music channel now. And your boy is, really
Okay.
networking hard, and I'm making some connections with some artists that have some stuff coming out. So you might see some artists on there. You never know. So make sure you lock in with VKJ TV Music Experience. All right. So other than that, we staying busy. We're going hard. We're doing what we need to do. And yeah, just stay locked in. Stay locked in. Appreciate you, Tika.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Jay. I know I don't say it all the time, but I really do appreciate you. You kind of got me to where I am. Believe it or not, you got me to where I am. Yeah, I put forth a lot of effort, but through your motivation, through your words of encouragement over the years, you literally helped me get to the point to where I am with these 9+ thousand subscribers. And I got faith by the end of the year or before the end of the year, we're gonna hit that 10K. So I appreciate your words of encouragement always. And if when I do hit 10K, y'all, we going live for 10 hours straight. So prepare to be sick of me. Prepare to be sick of
I remember
me.
you
Okay.
said that. I was
So
like, wow. I'm
I
gonna stop
know.
by. I'll stop by.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I submit the definitely. You can stop by. You ain't
I'm gonna
gotta stay the
stop
whole
by,
10
see if you're
hours.
still awake. I'm
Hey,
gonna,
trust me. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
be
have some
ready,
coffee
but
sent to you.
oh my God. But I appreciate that. And coming up on all things with this, as Jay said, just stay locked in. Keep the notifications on. I'm always doing something. For sure, definitely Thursdays is ours the team was night. Wednesday, I know I'm going backwards, is going to be Wednesday where we talk about Wednesday, okay? Wednesday on Wednesday. And then Tuesday, I will be doing Beauty in Black. And oh my God, y'all, I
Yeah,
got episodes 5 and 6. And it's gonna be Jay, Monique, 69 Ways. I think Lawrence is
yes,
coming through and lighting up with Letitia will be there. So prepare to be sick of me for this week, y'all, because y'all gonna see me a lot. And then I
yeah.
have one other thing that I'm talking about, but I think I'm gonna come. That will be in the middle of the week. It's Special Forces. Our girl Eva Marcel is a part of the Special Forces cast, and she's looking pretty tough. So I just wanted to see how tough Madam was really going to be. So I've been giving little short videos, recaps, I should say, on Special Forces that's streaming on Hulu. And Hulu, y'all better be glad y'all got your stuff together, or
Right.
I would have just been not watching. Okay.
That's
But
right. That's right.
anyway,
Tell them, Tika. We would have been cut y'all off if our shows wasn't on. We got to support
that's
our
why.
shows. So you lucky.
That's
But
why.
once our shows go off, I'm just saying.
Right. It's a wrap. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming through. Thank you, She's Always Late, for coming through. I'm gonna keep the face for sure. She's Always Late. Thank you so much. Monique 69 Waves, thank you for coming through. Your commentary is always all things, everything. Thank you, Demetria Richburg. We love us together too. And that's why we do what we do. So thank you so much for your support. Always coming through to hear what we got to say. So we appreciate you. And let's see who else was in here. Tamika Zen was in here. Thank you, Tamika. Thank you to Marcus Vaughn for coming through and being supportive. If there's anybody that I missed, I do apologize. Don't charge it to my head. Don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head because I'm old and I miss stuff. Kimberly Sampson, thank you for coming through. I hope you come back since you did watch previews of it. So make sure you go watch the episode or watch the movie, the Netflix series, and then come back and say replay game. I'm back. So you could do it on my channel, you could do it on Jay's channel, or you could do it on both the channels, okay? And that's about it, y'all. Your girl and your boy Vacate Day. We about to get up out of this thing. Thank y'all so much. And y'all have a blessed night. Have a blessed rest of y'all week. As I say, stay ruthless.
Salute.
And Jay. There we go. Hey. All right, y'all. Good night.
Peace.
Down the plot, sharp like a knife, unpacking the moments that bring stories to life. In all things ruthless, it's about you. You should follow us and see it through.